The Short Kid. It was said that a kid was very short, so people called him Short Kid. He was the youngest of 7 brothers. Their father was very poor. The parents couldn't feed their sons, so they decided to abandon them and leave them in the forest for their unknown destiny. Short Kid heard the discussion between his parents. The next day, the father took his children to the forest. Short Kid dropped some breadcrumbs all the way so he would be able to find his way back home. When they got to the forest, the father asked his children to pick mushrooms and play in the woods. While the children were playing, the father hid quietly without anyone noticing him. Short Kid called out a lot for his father, but without any answer back. He knew that his father had gone. He hurried to look for the breadcrumbs, but he didn't find any. The birds had eaten them all. Night came, but Short Kid still had hope in finding a way out. He climbed a high tree and looked around. He saw a distant light and said to his brothers,
Let's walk in the direction of the light.
After some time, they all reached a big house and knocked on the door. An old woman opened the door and said, scared,
"What brought you here? Don't you know that the giant who eats children lives in this house?"
But the children insisted on getting in, and the old woman agreed with some hesitation. She served them some hot soup and asked them to hide in a pile of hay before the monster gets back home. The monster came in and sat at the table to eat. Short Kid took advantage of the monster being busy devouring his food, and he put a big steel pot on his head. So he started to move awkwardly in his place. Short Kid hurried with his brothers and sat in the ghoul's magic shoes, where the ghoul keeps his big fortune. Short Kid ordered the magic shoes to take them back home. The shoes obeyed his orders at once, and after a few seconds, the boys found themselves in front of their house. The brothers got to the house and found their parents sitting at the table, very sad, thinking about what might have happened to their children. When the parents saw their children safe, they hugged them warmly and lovingly. Short Kid told his parents what had happened to them. Then he took the treasure out of the monster's shoes. The father shouted,
We have become rich!
And they all swore to live together forever. The governor heard about the story and asked to see Short Kid, who was later the province's knight and was called the governor's ambassador. Later and throughout the years, Short Kid grew up normally, and he married the governor's daughter, and everybody lived happily.